Hello, my name is Shudley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Hedjaz. In previous episode we had a lot of turmoil. First we tried to get independence against Egypt because they were fighting a war against Austria, which failed because USA decided to join in there. I tried to call in Great Britain into the war, but then when I added in some extra war goals they backed down. And then it was just me versus the USA, well basically just me versus the USA. And I couldn't win that, and then there was a revolt. Because we passed the different voting law. Oh, right. Did we switch the... No, the election is going to be still 3 months away. Okay, we'll just keep that in mind. Technically speaking, we could cover this one. A little bit more legitimacy until then. Do we have any more laws that we should be passing? Right, we're trying to pass the land... Oh! Fiddlestick. We didn't actually pass the... Oh, right, yeah, we didn't pass the wealth voting law. Never mind. We could try doing it now. But the landowners would be rather radical once again, so I don't think that would necessarily work. Especially since it would take a while for that to pass. But the border laws is something that we could maybe try passing. Let's go for the migration controls. I think if we can just make sure that industrialists are going to be in the government, we're going to try passing it now. At least we've got a slightly better chance than what we had before. We are now making a bit of money back, so we still need to pay a lot of money to Egypt during all of this. I mean, at least, one of the things that we do have going for us is the construction speed that we have is slowly improving. Oh, and suddenly, we just... Oh, yeah, the landowners are not paying taxes, and we just... Something... Did we switch another market again? No, we're still in the Egyptian market. Alright, the trade routes are doing fine. Except we're not selling all that much. Okay. Got a lot of extra man of wars. Is there any market that would want them? Spanish market would want them, alright. We'll do that one then. So I'm not entirely sure why we're suddenly losing an extra 20,000 here, but that seems to be happening. I mean, I suppose diplomatic backs is quite a bit, construction costs is quite a bit. Although investment pool is at least paying for half of it. Consumption taxes. Is there any actual taxes that we could put in here? Tea tax would be 2,000. That would reduce the deficit at least a little bit. But the election is going to be over soon. No, I don't think we can get the Free Trade Party into the government necessarily. And there's going to be Islamic Party and Patriotic Party. I mean, maybe we can get them in there as a third one. Who knows? So we need to get a little bit more administration build. We are also getting yet another shipyard in Oman. Not that we necessarily need it. Especially consider... Oh, right. There we go, let's have a look. What sort of government can we get? It's either that or... Oh, I don't want to get the landowners in. So I guess it's that one. At least it's going to be very good loyalty. And we've got... 0% chance of success at the close or migration control, so I guess we won't try passing that one. No, I don't want to go for the national supremacy either. So that leaves us with the National Guard, I guess, but that would be yet another thing or another institution. So I don't think there's a lot of laws that we can really pass. One thing that we are going to get soon, though, is pump jacks. And it's only 3 weeks away, and then we're going to start pumping oil, which is probably going to be somewhere in the title of this episode. Well, assuming that we find any of the oil. But that is quite likely. Now, we're still losing 20 town. Why so bloody expensive? Okay, coal is pretty expensive, transportation is pretty expensive, wood is pretty expensive, steel is expensive, engine, but like, why are we spending that? Oh, there we go. Oh, oil discovered in Yemen immediately. Alright then, well that didn't take too long. There's a rotor valve engine, we could probably do that one, but I suppose that even though we can start making oil, well I suppose there's the irrigation things that we could get. That might actually be quite useful. But like, there's not that many things that we can use the oil for quite yet, I don't think. But yeah, there's the rotor valve engine. We'd go for the rubber mastication, or maybe some more military stuff. I think our military could use a bit of a boost. Ah, that would be a bit of a boost for the Navy. I mean, I suppose we could get that. That's 9 to 6 months. Not too bad, but the amount of money that we're losing is just... Like, is there some sort of tax loss there? Oh, yeah, there's 6,000 in unrealized taxes. And I'm guessing the unrealized taxes is just because of either tax capacity over here. No, actually, there's no taxes in there yet. Uncollected taxes and taxway. I suppose it might just be the turmoil and all that. But that civil war actually reduced our radical numbers quite radically. We went from like 7 million down to 2.5 million. But that's alright. Well, I suppose one of the things that we don't get taxes for is the noble privileges, which, you know, does have a bit of an impact there. And investment pool transfers are still pretty high. Let's go ahead and start building up at least one of those oil rigs in here. Build it directly there. Ooh, right, actually, I suppose that once we get the bolt action rifles, that's going to require some oil. So if nothing else, we're going to at least get that one then. But for that, we need to get... Right, we didn't get the steel mill here yet. Right, it's in the production queue somewhere. It's just a bit of a long queue, and there's got to be a lot of barracks because we need more military. I think we're going to need something like 100 to 200... Oh, oil is Larisan, alright then. That's good. So how many oil rigs can we have here? 3. Okay. So coal and oil is going to be what's going to be done in here, I reckon. I do wonder... Well, I can't declare war on Persia. I do have a standing interest in here now, at least. Industrial barriers. I'm going to go for that one. It's going to increase the radicals a little bit, but at the same time, that's going to start reducing the support from the population for some of the laws. So eventually, there's going to be some movements to get rid of them. We've got 12 weeks for the oil rigs. And we're losing 24,000. Okay, now we've got at least some brokers to use. So we could do a bit of trade routes. Already got a few of them. Let's say we start importing some steel. Is there any good productivity in here? And the French capitalist revolt. I'm going to import some steel from the Ottomans, actually. That doesn't require any ships. And then wood, is there any good import route for that? The French market would be pretty decent. Did we switch away from the mercantilism? Yes, we went for... No, we are still in mercantilism. So tariffs on imports is pretty high. That means that meat importing is not going to be very profitable, unfortunately. So whilst we're getting another art academy, a paper mill, a textile mill. Right, so that's going to keep us rather busy. Did we put in the... Hold on a minute. Clear interest, so we don't have... Oh, we can't have another one yet. Oh, we're so low on the... Oh, because Egypt is probably dropped a little bit in the ranks. Yeah, Egypt has dropped in ranks, so we are pushed all the way back in the ranks. We really need to get that independence, but for that we need some really good support. So I suppose what we need to do in the next one is invite someone big into the war, not put any other war goals. Maybe invite 2 nations into the war on our side, just to be on the safe side. But we need the independence, and we need to start getting to the point where we can just conquer a lot of the lands in Egypt, just to be able to form the nation, Arabia, that we're going to be trying to form. We've got 5 of the 16 states that we need to form it. There's of course a bit more than that in total. There we go, so we've got the military technology in there. Ironclads would be potentially useful, actually. We don't have the steel production yet for it, though, so maybe we should just go for the rotative valve engine or some more of the production stuff. Or what about the society? What are we originating there? We've got organized sports underway. That would be more prestige. You know what, and that's the last level 2 tech that we don't have yet. We'll get that one done, so that's going to be 7 to 11 months. Looks like the radical numbers have been growing a decent bit there, which is not great. But at least the landowners aren't quite as upset anymore. Ironclad is actually spreading for us now. Good. So I'm guessing there might be some more things over here that we'll switch around so that we're not making the profit that we were used to be making. Just double check that. No, these are all as they should be. There's the fishing wharf, which is also kind of like it should be. Got 20,000 pops in here. Is the motor industry doing any profit? It is doing some profit. The steel price is a little bit on the higher end, but I suppose that's alright. I suppose one thing that I could do is I could just increase taxes in general. Start making a bit of money. I mean, it's going to start reducing the standard of living. Oh, right. Yeah, the standard of living has had a bit of a... Yeah, okay, that's gone down quite a bit. It used to be close to 11, and now it's below 10. Which no doubt is going to have a pretty bad impact on the radical numbers there. We're going to get a railway in Gondor finally. We've been waiting for that one to be built for a long while. It's also going to be incorporated in 3 years, so after that it's going to be probably pretty decent in there. Oh, right, we do need a bit more in Oromia as well. Did we put these to be... Oh yeah, if we take the... or go for the cargo prioritization, that's going to allow us to get a bit more infrastructure, which might just about be... well, it's not quite enough, but it would be at least a little bit closer to get all of this into the market. And thus maybe start improving the... I mean, if we look at the standard of living, Gondor is one of the lowest ones that we have. How bad is it in here? 7! Okay, that is pretty bad. We got the road maintenance already in there, so I don't think we're going to do too much about it. Oh, but there's a decent bit of unemployment right now, which probably isn't helping the situation. Got some sugar plantations. There's the automatic irrigation. Oh, right, that would be a lot of... oh, hold on a minute. Crucial states want to enter into defensive power. Are you independent? No. Well, I suppose I could go for that. At least I have a little bit more friends for defensive purposes, although I don't know if that's going to be enough, quite frankly. I'm pretty sure that I can't get any deals with Russia over here. No, not really. Rotary valve engine is completed. So we're still working on the organized sports. What are we going to get next? I do admit that USA has been pretty aggressive in Africa and Europe this playthrough. Yeah, they got a colony over here once again. But back in Africa, like I believe for a while they were supposed to not be doing that anymore, at least as often. Oh, Russia's fighting a war against Jing, alright. There we go, we got the railway. We are going to get a lot of the barracks now. That's going to increase the amount of troops that we have. We've got 62 battalions total right this moment. And these are going to be built fairly quick. Oh, Amhara, is that true? Is there no longer the... oh, there's no turmoil in here. Interesting. There's a massive tax deficit still. I don't suppose that... no, we can't get rid of colonial exploitation. Because that's costing us probably a decent bit. Yeah, it's 138 bureaucracy that we're paying for that without getting all that much benefits from it. So that's something that we might want to get rid of. Landowners, I just need to get a little bit happier so we can get some money. We're still losing £10,000 a week, but admittedly, large portion of that is just the fact that we're paying an extra £17,600 per week to Egypt. Like, Egypt's economy would collapse without me, I dare say. Oh, there we go. We got 4 of the interest groups very loyal. And then landowners are no longer quite as upset, so that's actually rather good. Laristan has a bit of low market access here. Is that... why is that, actually? Middle Egypt is having a problem. No? Okay, they might have some problems with the shipping then. Well, I'd imagine it would be a lot better access in there. And that is, yeah, that is still using the cargo port and all that. Industrial carriers... you know what? Maybe we don't want to reduce the standard of living for everyone anymore. I think that's been a big problem there. Yeah, that's probably part of the reason why Gondor is so bad shape. Well, less than 3 years we'll have it stated, so that should give us the... a decent... oh, actually, it is already at 151 infrastructure, so we've got full market access in here. So I'm pretty sure that the standard of living should be going up, at least in theory. Well, that's probably assuming that the market has all the things needed, which it probably doesn't, let's be honest. So how far are we from getting the... oh, we've got government administration over here, that is... oh, that was the one that we were building at one point, wasn't it? It got re-added into the list. So we're going to get a coal mine, a couple of barracks, 2 universities, a logging camp, and then is the steel mill, and then a lot of barracks. Well, at least we're slowly fixing the situation. But it is not exactly the best. But I think at this stage, as long as we can keep the economy somewhat afloat, we'll just keep on expanding our military. Get another 5 over here. We'll probably get another... oh, organized ports unlocked. Good. Get another 10 in Yemen. Oman probably doesn't need to give us any troops. We can maybe put in 5 barracks in... Oh, you know what? We'll put in 3 in here. And 2 in here. So that will get 5 and 5 on both of those. Right, so organised sports. What are we getting in military? The ironclads are going to be a pretty decent one to start investing into. Or vacuum canning. Oh, vacuum canning. That's the one that requires oil, isn't it? That's a possibility. Of course, we could also just go for the... I'm going to go for the ironclad. We want to get a better fleet as well. So how is Egypt doing in terms of their military now? They've still got 156 battalions. There's 44 that they could raise up if need be. How is the quality of the troops, though? It's still just light infantry with mobile artillery. So if we have a look at the quality, it's about 56 defense, so we should be able to beat that with our troops on attack. But of course, they've got so much more troops in there. Yeah, we've got 75 attack and 89 defense, at least sometimes. But like, a lot will depend if anyone will join on their side, which likely will happen. Let's... Oh, right. Oh, bollock. I don't think I can... Well, first of all, we've got a truce with Egypt, don't we? But we can't set interest in Nile, so we wouldn't be able to... Well, I mean, we could maybe take Eritrea. And then I suppose Lebanon. But yeah, no, actually, that's not going to stop the independence. Let's see. If we demand independence, they would not accept this. We have a truce, so that's minus 1,000 from there. If we give obligation... Now, there's only plus 23, so that's not going to be enough, even if there wasn't a truce. So that's not going to happen. So how long do we have the truce? We've got the truce up until next year, October. Oh, demand improving relations. I suppose that's fine. I don't think I'm going to expand too much into Persia right now, because Persia itself is a good friend of ours. Well, they're a little bit wary of me, but at least we're not enemies. Let's put it that way. Although, how strong are they? 71 battalions, what are their troop quality? It's in line infantry without artillery. I believe they've got a lot of, oh yeah, there's a lot of coal, oil rigs, opium, and silk plantations, and more opium. That would allow us to get the troops to recover a bit faster. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. First aid. Oh, it's liquor and fabric. Oh, so you do need opium. Okay, I should have done that ages ago then. There we go. So there's at least some reason to produce some liquor then. Even if your population considers it as a taboo. Let's double check. So what exactly does it do? Morale recover, or morale loss minus 25% and recovery rate plus 50%. So that is actually quite useful. We can go a bit of upgrade for the Navy. Of course, we only got 2 flotillas right now, so it's not necessarily all that much. It'll probably help. So we've got textile mill, livestock ranch, and tobacco plantations underway. We did get at least 1 oil rig in here. Of course, there's not a lot of demand for the oil yet. So, yeah, that's not going to help a lot. With vacuum canning, that's still going to take a while. Society, what are we getting in here? Human rights. Alright, max social security and all that, alright. Ooh, actually, are we bolstering... We are still bolstering the industrialists. I could maybe bolster the intelligentsia as well. Or I could just get more taxes. Actually, that's not really a bad idea either. Right, this, or right now anyway. A meat tax, that would be 5,000 income from there. But that would also reduce the standard of living probably. So I'm just going to put it on the more luxury items. So now we're only losing £5,000. And of course, as soon as the truce ends, we'll be making a lot more. But for the next war, I suppose we'll need to figure out who are we going to invite. Who are you rival to? Your obligation to Russia. So you wouldn't be able to call in Russia necessarily. I mean, to be fair, we've got okay relations with Russia anyway. Yeah, we can't improve relations with you. We could improve relations with Ottomans. I suppose if it's going to be a diplomatic play in Arabia, who's going to be... Well, I mean, America is one of the options. Austria is one of the options. I mean, Britain is someone that we could probably improve relations with again. We are not in particularly good relations with them at this moment. But yeah, that's probably going to be helpful, at least to some degree. So they did win the war against Japan. Okay. So this has been a really aggressive America. What are their politics? They ban slavery, migration controls, no social security, legal guardianship, restricted child labor, workers' protection. Oh, hold on a minute. Workers' protection. Alright then, rights of assembly, no health system, public schools, dedicated police force, colonial resettlement, per capita taxation, protectionism, interventionism, national militia, elected bureaucrats, total separation. Okay, so I think they've gone... Oh, yeah, government is trade unionists. It's not a quite full-on communism in there, but it's getting closer and closer. Alright then, well, right now we got still clergy as the biggest power in here. When is the next election then? Oh, hold on a minute, who's this? Oh right, that is the Sunni ulama, so that's in the past 10 years. How the clout has changed. I suppose the Liberal Party did lose a lot of stuff there after... Like, briefly they were one of the biggest ones in terms of clout, but then they've got quite a bit pushed down again, or dropped down again on the list there. How many barracks are we still building? Quite a few. So I suppose we'll just keep the construction... I mean, construction is probably fine right now. We could maybe even add in a bit more of it in some select places. Like, we'll put in one more in Yemen, and then one more in our capital. We'll get both of those built, hopefully. It doesn't take too long to build them, admittedly. And we've got okay construction speed for the private construction, or both constructions, quite frankly. So that will allow us to get these buildings done fairly quickly. Then we're going to get the barracks built a bit faster as well. And that way we can make sure to get through at least partially this list. So that once we're to the point where we want to try our luck at getting the independence again, at least we'll be able to have, like, I don't know, 80 battalions total. That would already be a lot better than what it was before. Oh, USA is domineering, so of course they are going to be basically just telling to me that, hey, you are going to just do things. I'm going to increase the industrialist political strength. That does mean that Somaliland's lower strata pops will become more radical, but at the same time, if we can get industrialists to be a little bit stronger and in power, then we could maybe pass a lot of, especially the migration laws. That would be really handy, but that's kind of the, well, I suppose, yeah, it's a problem for a lot of the nations that start with landowners being very strong and all that, is that getting the industrialists or someone like that in power to pass a lot of those laws so that your population can actually move to the areas where you want to have your industry is really difficult to pass. Like, it's not impossible, but it is a lot of work to do that. And of course, the AI will probably do a lot of things to stop that from happening. Now we're losing 12.7 thousand per week, but I suppose the truce is going to end in about a year, so we're not going to be taking too much extra data, and after that we're going to start making money again. I believe we will have the military, or the market access over here at least. There's only 57 right now, but if we were in control, it probably would be a lot better. Just, like, is there any way to see the amount of convoys that they have? Because I think that might be the problem. The supply network over there is fine. It goes fine up to here, but then suddenly this one's just not got any market access, and thus the standard of living is rubbish because, yeah, reasons. Like, we do have the port in here, that's not the problem. And it's got full employment as well. But it's the Egyptian side of things that is having the problems, I reckon. Oh yeah, Ethiopia's got a lot of traders in here. Not Ethiopia, Egypt, sorry. Of course, that makes sense. They are the owner of this. They need to import a lot of things. Because the market... Oh, there we go. Landowners are actually quite happy now again. So more influence. Huzzah. The Ironclad is going to be 3 to 5 months now. But I suspect that if we can get at least one good war against Egypt in such a way that first we get independence and then 2 or 3 wars, maybe 4 wars, and we could take most of Egypt itself. Well, yeah, the sort of modern day Egypt in here, which is what we need to get for the sort of goal of the series, to get the nation formed. But of course, we'll also have to do probably a war against, or a couple wars against the Ottomans. So how strong is their army? 500! I mean, they do have quite a small population, but 500 battalions? What sort of quality can we expect with 500 battalions? I mean, it's about the same as Egypt. Lesser quality than what we have. But of course, the numbers would be so much more in their favor that I don't think we're going to really get through there. Oh, we've got a bit of a turmoil in here still. Yeah, we do. I mean, it's mostly because the standard of living is just non-existent because of the market access. And I think the market access is just non-existent because Egypt needs to buy a lot of things. And they're just using all the ships to do that instead of supporting me in here. Which, to be fair, I don't necessarily blame them entirely. Well, I mean, I do blame them, but I understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, yeah, I'm a little bit upset by that. So, where do we have the extra troops? We should have some extras probably in Ethiopia, actually. If we were to recruit a new general, we could get, yeah, we could get a second Ethiopian general, I suppose. Having a third general might not be a bad idea, actually. I'm going to do that, especially if we can get a good defensive plan. No, we got the reserved, but that would be... well, that's a less morale loss. Offensive, or pious offensive, explorer, popular commander. So command limit would be higher there, or we can go for the charismatic. Morale recovery, traditional commander, so that's command limit plus 10%. I think I'm going to go with the reserve one then. There we go, that's going to allow us to have a bit more troops. Ah, there we go, ironclads unlocked. And then I think we're going to go for the vacuum canning. So, at this stage we've unlocked the better harbors already. Of course, those do require a little bit of coal, which clearly there's not enough in the market. But if we do go for that one, that would require some steamers. We could start producing our own steamers, at least somewhere. Maybe we'll take the ones in Oman to start using steamships. Coal price is going to be pretty high, steamships not very high, and then maybe some military buildings so we can get some ironclads made. Again, there might not be a lot of demand for them right now. I don't suppose we can get... oh yeah, we can get steam trawlers as well. But that would require even more coal. Right, I don't think we're going to afford that. We just got the coal mine in here, which is still hiring. And yeah, it's going to hire for a while actually, isn't it? But because this one doesn't have the market access... that is so frustrating, this. I tell you. It is so frustrating. The fact that, like, we've got this area, and it's got perfectly fine infrastructure and all that. But it's just not taken into the market in here. Or it's not included in the market because it doesn't have land access. So I suppose to fix that, what I should do is just conquer all of Persia and all of Iraq and all that, and then I'd have land access into here at least. And then through here, a land connection all the way through, I suppose. But that's a lot easier said than done. Although, I suppose... so how much did they have? They had 71 battalions, and the quality of the troops wasn't all that impressive, was it? No, so I think what we might have to do is just start planning on that, quite frankly. So, let's go ahead and Persia. We'll start out damaging relations, so that we can at least have a look if we were to declare war. I mean, if we target a state here, so who would join? Persia and Kalat. And then there might be some others that could join. But if we were to take at least all of Laristan, and then maybe Fars for the opium and silk plantations there, and then maybe Khuzestan for the extra bit of oil that will be there, plus there's some opium in there that could be farmed. But I'm pretty sure that there's supposed to be oil in here, but it hasn't been discovered yet. But that would allow us to get at least a little bit more area in here. And that will also give us a bit more strength. Well, that's kind of going to give us a bit more sort of time to start planning the war or the independence war. Although, I suppose the truce is going to end with Egypt soon. Ornament to the Sharif. Pops in Yemen become more radical, or Petite Bourgeoisie is going to lose some approval. That's fine. Petite Bourgeoisie is not really the biggest issue right now. But I do also see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also get the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.